Holy cow, the things you gotta do for YouTube. Riding backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. G'day folks, my name's Simon. I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. For those of you who haven't been here before, this channel is all about motorcycles, motorcycle related content, and I'll bring that to you at least once every week, usually on a Wednesday at around about 9 AM Sydney time. Did a bit of a review on the Motoz Tractionator GPS tyres that went onto the bike the other week. And as you can see on the back here, I was talking about this big wide strip that runs straight up through the middle here, which is the bit that I think causes it to spin up fairly easy on the tarmac. And the front tyre that was put on was the one that I found really quite weird, running around corners on roundabouts and counter steering with it. It's not really worn in that much yet. Once it's worn in a little bit better, I'll give you more feedback on it and what my opinion is. So far out here, riding around in the bush, in the dirt, it seems to be quite good. They seem to grip quite well. I haven't felt that it was going to slip out from under me while riding around, which is quite a nice thing. In another episode, I will talk about all of the different modifications that have been done to my bike since I got it, because obviously you can see quite clearly here that there are a lot of things on this bike that have changed in the time that I've owned it. I mean, the latest things that have got onto it in the last week was my engine guards here, upper and lower ones, these extra wind deflectors that are down along the sides here, and my Stedi C-4 Black Edition LED lights. I'll give you a bit of a view of what they're like actually, because they're really quite impressive. Okay, so the Stedi C4 LED lights, as you can see, they're really quite bright. So I can tell you from experience that having a good set of LED lights on a motorbike, if you're living in the Australian bush where we've got kangaroos the size of me, and I'm 6'2", 188 centimetres, so it's really good to have a good set of lights on your bike if you're going to ride at night. So LED lights tend to make a kangaroo freeze. They just stop. Now, people ask me about things like, my experience with driving or riding at night. In the last 6 years working for my company, I've worked exclusively night shift. And in the last 10 years alone, I have driven or ridden over 2 million kilometres, quite a lot of it at night. Personally, on a former bike, my CB500X, I did 56,000 kilometres on it prior to it being destroyed. A lot of that was at night because I worked night shift, and at the time I was riding 46 kilometres each way in and out of town. On dusk, coming to work, before the sun's even looking at coming up, going back home from work. And because of that, I know just how bad it can be on a motorbike travelling at night. I don't know many people who've travelled 40,000 kilometres at night on a motorcycle, but I have. Okay, so quite clearly I've now got a very bright LED pointing at me from the camera. There is a reason why I've got that on at the moment, and that's because obviously it's almost dark here, and I'm waiting until it is pretty much dark so that I can show you what these lights are like. There's still a little bit of light behind me there, but not much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lights on for you, just on low beam at first. And the bike is up on its center stand, so the low beam looks really, really low. But as you can see, you know, the low beam is okay. Now, again, bearing in mind that the bike is on the center stand, so the lights aren't throwing as far as they should be. I mean, really? The difference in the amount of light that's coming out here now. If you can see me, you can see any animal out here. Just normal headlights. And then, there we go. I'm not even going to try standing up at the moment. I just want to get out of here. I don't tend to like riding around in the bush at night. On main roads with good spotlights, yes. On dirt tracks in the forest with all the animals that are probably hopping around in here like crazy right at this moment, not my favourite place to be. Ooh. She kicks out easy with that traction control turned down. That's the lowest I've ever put the traction control. I'm interested to see how these tyres go. That about wraps it up for me today. Look, if you've got something out of this video, I'd like you to hit that like button. Subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification button if you want to know every single time I put out a video. Or not.